Hello traders, welcome to your daily update for Wednesday the 8th of April 2015, and we've seen the dollar come back into favour overnight, and the bulls are back in control as the threat of the non-farm payroll report on Friday was one that triggered a quick short-term correction in the currency, but investors have started to move in and start buying and using this as an opportunity to buy in at lower levels, keeping an eye on the long-term view that the US are going to raise rates, and we're only getting closer and closer to that date. So the US dollar strength kicks back in, although in the technical world, we'll have a look, and we do have some hurdles that we need to get over before we can say that we are clearly in an uptrend. We also seen that the euro was lower despite having some positive news, and now this is quite a signal to the market that when we get some positive news but it continues to move lower, that there really is a lot of downward pressure, and it's going to take something significant for the euro to actually bounce. And we've seen it test a significant level 3 times, and I'll show that in the technical chart, and it continues to fail. Now, the reason for this this week has been that the market is really focused on the Greece issues and the problems that we have overseas in terms of Yemen and Russia and whatnot. So they're quite risk averse with the euro, and I think rightly so. However, we'll have to wait and see, because it's rejected the $110 level, well, the $1.10 3 times now, in my opinion. So we're quite heavy in the resistance range, and we'll have to wait and see what happens. All right, let's have a look at what we've got coming up today. We'll have a look here, and you'll notice that there is not a lot of key data coming out in the European session, but everybody's going to be focused on the FOMC minutes. Now, if the market believes that they're going to be quite hawkish in this meeting minutes, well, then we could start to see the market price that in early, and we could start to see the buying of US dollars in the European session adding pressure and seeing a continuation on from what we had yesterday with the US dollar strength. So it's interesting, and you'll have to read into the price action of what the market's thinking, but everybody will be focused on the FOMC minutes, and we'll have to wait and see what's going to happen there. That's about it fundamentally. We don't have a lot of other data, and we don't have anything in the morning before my next video, so keep an eye on that. Once again, the retail sales out of Europe will be watched by the market, and that could add some short-term price action as well. It is expected to come in weaker, and that could add further downside to the euro. Let's have a look at the dollar. And this is a 1 hourly chart, and we've seen the rally in the euro and then again in the US session. We're now in the Asian session, and we're just having a bit of a pullback, and we could find support in this area, probably above the previous support level here, and we could continue to bounce. If I just go on a daily, that shows you a little bit better what we've come through, and you'll still see here that we do have a triangle that I have posted before. We've got our downtrend line there, and we do have our longer term uptrend, and we still need a breakout. We still need the market to take out this high here before I'm willing to say that we've made a higher swing high and we've taken out a resistance level, and the FOMC minutes could actually generate that bullish run, and we could come and have a run at the 100 again. So keep an eye on that. There is a lot of support still down around this region here, so I think that'll hold up for now, even if we don't get a hawkish move, unless the Fed statement comes out and basically says we're not going to raise rates this year. I think this area is quite safe. Once again, definitely keep an eye on the US dollar, because that is really in focus for the market. Let's have a look at the charts, and we've got the New Zealand here. Now, we've seen the pullback due to the US dollar strength last night, but we are still in line with the testing of the downtrend line here, and we've had a bounce today on the New Zealand, and we've still got our support level here holding up well. This market's trading back above 75 cents, and the New Zealand could continue and make a run for 76 cents. However, there is a resistance level there, and we could be in a consolidation pattern. It's going to be up to the US dollar index, and we'll have to wait and see what happens. Oil is also playing a role here in the New Zealand dollar, as oil has continued to rally. So that's what's added support here to the New Zealand. The Australian dollar bounced on holding of the interest rates last night, and we did get above 77 cents for a very short period of time, and then it got pulled back in. Once the European session kicked in and the US dollar strength, you can see it pulled back and lost majority of the gains. Now that's a signal that the market is very weak and very biased to the downside on the Australian dollar. Even though they're left at hold rates, they are starting to have the view that we will eventually see another rate rise, and next month's probably on the cards. So any breaks above 77 cents, I think, will be short-lived. The euro seeing pressure to the downside. Now we've got a triple top here at $1.10.5. So we've had three tests, and we just cannot stay above $1.10, and we're now trading back below. Now, if we get more US dollar strength coming in today, I think we could break the 108 area, and then that opens up for a move down to test the 107. I'll be looking for that support level to be broken and possible entries in at higher levels depending on some swing opportunities come at the start of the European session. The Great British Pound is very similar. We had just blatant sell-off to the downside, but we found support at $1.48, a break below $1.48 now. We're still within this consolidation range. We've been in a sideways pattern between $1.48 and $1.50, and we cannot break above $1.50. We're now down in the lower end of the consolidation, so it's up to the US dollar to dictate whether we actually get a break below $1.48. If we get a big move to the hawkish side, this is a 1 hour chart, we could see the actual pound just do a swing move up into this area here, reject it, and then actually come and break the $1.48 should US dollar strength really pick up momentum in today's American session. The US dollar CAD, now we had US dollar strength, and as you can see, it's very minor reflected there, and that's because oil has bounced quite significantly, and that's kept this move subdued, and we've since come off with the Asian session and the US dollar also pulling back. So keeping an eye on that, we'll have a look at oil here. If I have a look at this, the daily chart, and I zoom in for you, you can see that we've had a few consecutive days here of rallies, and we are testing annual highs. It's the highest it's been this year, and we'll see whether we can actually take that out, forming a double bottom in this area for oil. So the market's really keeping an eye on oil. It is going to remain to be volatile, especially with the issues that we have over in Yemen and also throughout Europe. Plus, there is talk of some other producers selling oil at higher prices, which is also creating the rumour mill and pushing prices higher. Now, that's going to continue to be volatile, as I said, and heavily reflected in the New Zealand as well as the Canadian dollar. The US versus the Jap, we've had a rally here. We haven't taken out our historical resistance levels. We've had a pullback. So it's going to be interesting to see whether we're actually going to get momentum in this US Jap move. We will at some point, and it's just key to be quite focused and quite patient on the long-term view. And if you're holding positions, don't panic. And we are still trading quite well, and it's still signaling a bias to the upside. I'm still hold a view that a long-term buy or a long-term bullish move on the US dollar versus the Jap will eventually show its head. So that's about it for the market. Let's have a look and see what we've got coming up for the FOMC minutes. I'll be doing some commentary on Twitter, so stay tuned to that. And also, you'll notice over here on the left-hand side of my chart, I do have pips made for the current week and net currency made for the week. That's an indicator that I'm going to offer for free. I'm just building a website right now, and then I'll be able to put up there. You just submit your email address, and I'll return an indicator that basically keeps your pip tally for the week, and it refreshes every Sunday night, and it shows you in US dollars. I've got it on a small live account right now that I'm trading for statistics and performance to put on the website for you guys following my trading system. And it's I've been trading for 2 days and I'm up 140 pips, and that's just purely doing some scalping and breakout trading, which is a system that I'll show you. And as you can see, it's $145, so I'm just trading 0.1 of a lot on a $1,000 account, just so that people can relate to the returns on the smaller accounts. When we do start to go live, I will be trading a much larger account, and you'll all get access to that, and you'll be able to see the performance and get access to all the trades that I'm doing. Well, that's enough about that. Let's get back into trading and look at the European session coming up. I'll be back again tomorrow, and until then, trade well.